Good morning, and welcome to The Price of Business, where we are talking about you and your money. This is William Edmunson. I'm filling in for Kevin this morning, and I'm a longtime contributor, so I'm familiar with the show. Turnaround CEO coming off leadership of a couple of companies, and I'm excited to be here. And we've got a lot to talk about today, but before we start, let me tell you that portions of this show are sponsored by MAGA and by Victory Transportation Systems. I'd like to move on to our first guest, because we've got a lot on the list today. Our first guest is Eyal Iffergan, and he is with Global Partners, Hyperion Global Partners. And Eyal, welcome to the show.
Hi, William. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're glad to have you. Well, tell us a little bit about what you guys do, and also your website, if you would.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the company's Hyperion Global Partners. The website's at www.hyperiongp.com. We are a business and technology consulting firm. So we focus on we serve legal markets, so it's practice management for typically law firms, AmLaw 100, 200 law firms, and Global 1,000 corporations. Our sort of focus is on practice management, what we call the business of law, in shorthand, as opposed to the practice of law. And so we focus on process, operations, organization, and technology. So the kinds of things that lawyers and legal organizations sort of use to manage the business and how they deliver their services to their clients.
Sure. And I was looking at your website, and I absolutely love what you all have as your model on there. And it says, we don't try to be all things to all people and focus on the areas that we know better than anyone else. Boy, that's a great way to be. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's I think that's a really important part of our DNA and who we are. We're styled as a consultancy of experts. So everyone that works at Hyperion comes to us with many years of experience in their respective space. And a big part of how we sort of innovate, when we started this, we've been in business for about, actually this is celebrating 7 years this January.
That's great.
When we started it, I think we didn't sort of try to be an anti-consultancy, as it were, but we've really sort of done a lot to shift the model, particularly, in the way we sort of take the expertise that we bring into the organization, and find new and innovative ways of delivering it, to sort of move away from the I have to be across a desk from you to deliver my expertise, and to sort of focus more on how we can develop solutions around the things that we know our clients deal with every day. And deliver that value in some, very tangible, easy to understand, quickly to deliver and deploy solutions.
Well, it's so important that today, when you're doing business, that you're keeping up with keeping things simple and using the technology. And it sounds like you guys are really on top of that.
It's really resonated with our clients. So we're a professional services organization, right? We work a lot, frankly, like our law firm clients, or at least this market does, where you sort of, sell a body and their time for a billable hour. We don't sell time. We don't have hourly rates. We don't track time internally in the company. We every now and then get asked for a rate sheet. We don't have it to offer. What we do is we provide everything we do on a fixed fee basis. We think that's an important part of our value, especially in terms of predictability of cost and helping the client understand what they're going to get and how much they're going to pay for it, and shoring up all the risk around that. We're not one of these, we think it'll take 50 hours to do something, and then turn around with sort of a number of scope changes and the
Right.
like. We're much more focused on the work product, and that's what we priced, and it's resonated really well. I think it's been an important part of our growth trajectory.
Well, that's so important. Having been a president and CEO in various companies, one of the things that is really frustrating is when you start out with one price in mind and you budget the process, and then through the course of the project going on, you end up having all of these additional things that you're being charged for. It's very frustrating. So this is refreshing, the approach that you take.
Right, and it's I mean the predictability of it is important, but we really sort of try to shift so the focus of that engagement, right, with our clients away from how long it'll take to do something and much more around what will you get out of it. And in point of fact, a lot of the content of our consulting is also about deriving quality. We sort of say, I work with a lot of law firms, and my favorite anecdote is I was giving a presentation a few months ago at a conference. And this is with a legal department group, so in-house counsel. And they said at one point a woman got up and said, "Well, we spent $100 million on outside counsel spend last year." And she says it with this indignation, and everyone else in the room, sort of turns around and sort of shares that. And I'm up at the podium, and I said, "Well, listen, that sounds like a lot of money, but was it well spent?"
Right.
And I got this cockeyed look, from her. She'd never been asked that. The point is, if you don't know how to answer that, how do you know that $100 million wasn't the value spent, right? That you could have spent $300 million, but because of what you did in that organization, you saved it $200 million. Those are sort of the, important things to know. If it was well spent and you got the value out of it, and so that's what we really try to focus on. Our model is where the traditional professional service model is leveraged on or sort of predicated on the leverage of people. Ours is not. Our leverage is on work product. So it's about how we can encapsulate that expertise and deliver it in tangible ways, and that makes it easy for us to fix price things and take up all of the risk. When you hire us, you actually get access to. We'll have a statement of work around this is what we'll deliver, but we'll also do whatever it takes to deliver that. So if some other expertise is required, some other resources along the way, that's all included. We're an all-in model. We really don't, sort of nickel and dime around those things. We want our clients.
That's great. Nobody likes to be nickel and dime. Hey, we are coming to the end of the segment. I want to make sure that you let people know how they can reach you and your company. If you would give us the best ways to contact you, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we're a national, if not international group. The best way to get a hold of us is through the website, again, www.hyperiongp.com or www.hgpresearch.com. A big part of our group is a analyst-based research and advisory group because we also do a lot of benchmarking, surveys, metrics, and the like for the market, and deliver a lot of that content there. So either sites, first and foremost, are sort of engagement media for us, but the best way to reach us, you can also call. It's 832-886-6800. We're based here in Sugar Land, just outside of Houston. But again, sort of international in scope, so we've got a presence sort of nearly everywhere.
Well, we've got to run. That's a very interesting segment, very good information, and thank you for your contact information.
Thanks so much, William.
Thank you. And everyone, if you'll remember, the best content here shows up on usdailyreview.com. You are listening to The Price of Business.